Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Microsoft 365 Community Conference sponsor webinar series. I'm Ella Fernandez, Head of Connections at BTechly, and today we're joined by our sponsor, DTEN. In today's session, we'll be exploring building a smarter interactive workplace with DTEN, Microsoft Teams, and Appspace. But before we start, here are a few reminders. To join the live Q&A, you'll need to register for the webinar. So if you haven't registered yet, simply scan the QR code on the screen or visit btechly.com, select today's session, and enter your business email address. Once you're registered, our team will add you to the calendar invite, which include a link to join the Q&A chat at the end of the session. Please note that the Q&A is not live streamed. Join us at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference this April 21st to 23rd in Orlando. So that's next week. Register now by scanning the QR code on the screen or head to nextgen365events.com. Use the discount code SAVE150 to get 150 off on your registration. Apply for the Microsoft 365 Community Grant Program built for small businesses and nonprofits to help you accelerate your AI journey with hands-on learning, expert guidance, and financial support to attend Microsoft 365 Community Conference. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit change3e.com/grants. And of course, please like, subscribe, and follow both BTechly and the Microsoft 365 Community Conference. Without further ado, let's enjoy today's learning session.
Hi, Ella. Thank you so much, everyone, for having us here today. My name is Scott Krickeberg. I head our alliances and our go-to-market strategy here at DTEN. And we are very excited to be a part of the Microsoft Teams ecosystem. So we wanted to come in today and show you guys a little preview of what DTEN does, what we bring to that Teams ecosystem, and then some new solutions that we are bringing to market this year with Microsoft Teams, with Places, with Appspace. And we really want to show you how you as an organization or as a company can take your digital strategy and really turn it into physical endpoints and an interactive workplace. So a lot of tools, a lot of technology, software, hardware is in the market today that you can take advantage of. You can deploy it from end to end and really create a smarter workplace, but also increase productivity and increase interaction within your own organization. So there's a lot of really great stuff we're going to go through today. Let's kick it off with something I've kind of been talking about for the last few years. And, to not continue, to keep the COVID conversation open, the pandemic conversation, but we still are seeing, the effects of that and what companies are deciding to do when they engage their current workforce, when they're planning to expand, when they might have to do things like return to office 2.0. All of these situations are still kind of swirling around. And the software and the hardware manufacturers, we're working hard to provide new tools to make engagement, interactivity, productivity. We're still trying to create that perfect recipe for everyone. So we think that we have put together quite a team to help you deploy that digital strategy in the real world. One thing we have been noticing is that this continues to tick up the response year after year of employees who are failing to feel engaged at work. So you have to ask yourself, some questions. Is it the tools? Is it the environment? Is it the hybrid work strategy? What really are the difference makers to have your employees respond as low engagement? And we know that engagement leads to productivity. So what are some of the things that we can do, to help, that deployment of your tech stack and your tools that you're offering your employees to stay engaged. So if you look at this slide, why is it important? We can tell that highly engaged teams, they outperform the rest of their competitors in these critical business outcomes. If success, if productivity, if execution, if you're in an organization where those things are critical and top of mind, there are actually things you can do today to increase that. So if we look at former data, we can tell that these best practice organizations are leading to higher output and productivity and revenue. And all of these things lead back to that engagement. Are they part of the conversation in a conference or a video meeting? Are they using the tools in the office like kiosks and digital signage? Are they really taking advantage of all these things you can deliver as an organization today to keep them engaged, interactive, and highly outperform the rest of your competition? So a huge jump here. We can see globally, around 23% employees feel engaged. US is a little bit higher, where we tend to be early adopters of technology and software tools. So you can see that trend growing up to 33%. But those true organizations that are deploying those tools in the workplace, at home, in the conference room, they are drastically outperforming at 70%. So let's go through some ways that you can own that return to office. You can own that physical deployment. And a couple ways that we're going to focus on today. The first one is just selecting the right technology. There's options out there that are dated. There's options that will not bring you the full feature stack of what you're looking for in your digital strategy. And they can't be complicated, right? There's still component-based room systems out there that are messy, a lot of downtime. They're hard to manage. You can eliminate that today. Employees should be able to leave their home, enter an office, and have the same experience from end to end by the time they get to that meeting room or at their desk, their workstation. So you don't need this large team of experts that know how to work. Your technology you deploy should give you the peace of mind. It's going to automate, and it's going to do that for your employees, and that exists today. Second is that physical representation. So the strategy on mobile phones, on laptops, it's not quite going to cut it like it used to. There's more facilities, there's more interaction that we need to take into account that will keep your employee engaged and will keep them productive. So the first one, selecting the right technology. There's a lot of options out there, you guys, now around, different video systems that you can deploy, how you manage your digital signage and your company information, and what their experience is when they enter those facilities. And that's why it's important to evaluate some of these new solutions that are already available and in the market. So if you look at DTEN as a whole, just to give you a snapshot of what we do, we make all-in-one touchscreens and different audio-visual gear that go into your conference rooms, that go into your lobbies, in your elevator banks, in your home offices. We're one of the unique brands that can deploy an end-to-end solution from home all the way through your most executive and critical meeting experiences. So we do things like all-in-one, so that ease of use, removing cables, additional mics, stuff all over the room. Those are failure points. So we build devices that are reliable, and they're going to give you the least amount of downtime in your situation. There's multiple sizes you can choose from, 55, 75. We have dual screens to share your content. But the most important part is end to end, our portfolio can capture everything from a 27-inch kiosk through digital signage, the messaging that you're delivering throughout the day. And then we can do everything from a personal phone booth up to a large executive conference room with all the different bells and whistles that really bring that smarter, interactive workplace to life. So first, everything we do is fully certified. So we work alongside Microsoft Teams to have these things tested and validated. You can see that the reliability is through the roof with how long you can invest in these devices, how long they're going to stay online, and you can actually start to build and grow that smarter, interactive workplace. First off here, we want to introduce our D7X AI. So this is the first time that the Microsoft community is being exposed to our new certified product for the Microsoft Teams ecosystem later in May. You're able to see it next week at the community conference. We'll have it on site for demos. If you're interested to come by, talk to us and take it for a spin. But this is really built for today's requirements. We know that 365 is continuously bringing out AI additions. We have Copilot, we have these room facilitators. So we will spend a little bit of time on what that means for you, how you can utilize those and deploy them. But this core product is a Microsoft Teams Rooms for Windows all-in-one collaboration device. So it's the first of its kind to be built with an Intel Ultra 7 PC. So this meets the needs for current AI. It'll have the NPUs, the GPUs, the TOPS, everything in here that is going to not only help you contribute to your Copilot brain and your overall AI strategy, but it's also going to help you in the room manage that space. As an automated expert that's going to be collecting the audio and video and using those to feed the Copilot brain, to feed Microsoft Teams Rooms. So it's fully featured heavy. There's things you're going to get in here like a Edge browser, so you can scroll the internet, bring that into meetings and share that content. We'll have Miracast for wireless sharing, and then obviously the AI facilitator, which is a big theme here at the conference this year, is Copilot, how to use it, best practices, and what it's really going to do for you. So this is the first device built to catch all of that AI roadmap. It's the same spec as a Copilot PC, but it offers more on the audio visual side to really bring AI to the edge. It's not just cloud that's going to manage your AI. We have it at the edge in the room, and that's going to help you do a lot of things to control your meeting and automate that experience so IT has less downtime. Your users have a much better experience. It's interactive. It's familiar to them. So these are some things that we're bringing into the market this year that we think is going to be the next generation of how to think about your rooms and your spaces and how to future-proof those. I think that the AI roadmap is still a little cloudy. It's kind of being built as we go based on customer reaction and what the market really needs. So this is built to catch that. It is future-proof. The hardware is ready for any advances in AI that are going to come over the next several years. So you have that peace of mind of deploying technology that's going to last, and it's going to be ready to interact with your entire AI program. What's great about this, we not only work with the cloud AI, Copilot and your facilitators, but we actually offload a lot of this into the room to bring a much better meeting experience in those environments where you're top of mind for collaboration and Microsoft Teams Rooms usage. So there's some things in here with multiple cameras, how we bring AI cameras into the equation. We're able to see your room in 3D. We're able to map that, find reflections, find glass, some things that are causing your cameras to move all around. We're really able to control your space with the AI technology. And some different ways we're doing that is super unique. So here we've created real people identification. So one thing our AI board can do is tell the difference between a 3D person who should be in the meeting that is relevant and the distractions in the room. So this photo is a perfect representation. As you see the walls graphed, we're able to depth sense glass. Where is the back wall? Where are people actually sitting? And then we're able to identify if they are a 2D object or a 3D object. So now finally those pictures on the walls, people that are walking by windows and reflections, they're actually removed from the meeting to provide a much more accurate representation of who's in the room, who's important. And then on top of that, the audio is capturing them and they're feeding the Copilot brain, the meeting summary, the different live transcriptions and translations that you can activate. This is all being provided at a much higher level by the device in the room. And we're processing all of that and providing it back to you to make a much better meeting experience. Here you'll see kind of a representation there on the left of what the AI cameras see. So, a lot of times we talk about the person in the room perspective. Where's the cameras? Where's the display that you're looking at? How far away are people? This is kind of a different approach to controlling that room. This is from the board out. This is first person view of what our device can see and what it is using to help manage that better meeting and gallery experience. So there on the left, you'll see the heat map. That's something we can do, identify reflections. Those red zones are further away. They'll help identify back walls, where reflections might be coming from. The blue stuff is closer. So those are people, those are walls, those are things that the real 3D sensing can tell, and that's going to layer on top of the video camera to provide that real person identification. Those two things working together is the highest performing technology product in the market. So we're able to create a space out of one that doesn't exist. A lot of flex spaces are popular where you don't necessarily have four walls. You don't have a traditional meeting room. You have open areas, you have flex spaces, you have boards on carts like you see on the right. So our technology is able to build a smart room around a space that doesn't necessarily have one to begin with. So this is really cutting edge as far as what hardware is doing to help that Teams Rooms experience, what we're bringing to you as the customer, and just how flexible you can be with the DTEN product line. We go from small rooms to large rooms, divisible spaces. The list goes on and on of how our product can apply to the situation that you're trying to solve in your own space. Next, this kind of just sums up what I talked about, where the combination of those 3D cameras up there in the top audio bar, in addition to our View Pro system, which is different actual video cameras, they overlap, they live together, and that's how they process this much better meeting experience. That's what's allow you to be super versatile in your rollout. So one thing about DTEN is that modular design, that able to scale up depending on your room size, is going to give you the most range of use cases. You can do small rooms all the way up to boardrooms and extra large spaces, because these cameras are working for you in that space to identify the best possible meeting experience. And a lot of our customers can use the same product in a 55 or 75-inch version and do multiple use cases and rollouts within their organization, because the product itself is so versatile and it'll work in multiple size spaces all the way up to 30, 45 feet. That's how powerful our audio and our AI audio system is to bring all of those people into the room in the best gallery type of experience. A little more detail, we get this question a lot, right? AI on the edge, what is that going to do for you versus the AI in the cloud? Both of these things exist today. A lot of what you hear from Microsoft Teams is going to be around cloud AI. They are processing this stuff in the cloud. They're using your audio for the meeting summaries, for the transcription. When you turn on that facilitator and it starts to listen to the room, these are cloud-based AI features, which we 100% support with the hardware. What's going to start happening is the requirement for better audio and video. It's going to keep increasing to make these summaries and these facilitators smarter. So we've actually planned in advance to be able to feed that Copilot brain. And we're able to send much more data and telemetry and a lot of things that customers are asking for to the cloud. So we work in conjunction. And in the room, you've seen that our cameras are making a smarter experience. Our audio is able to tell people apart and assign different meeting transcriptions to when they're speaking versus someone else. And then we're also going to support that interactive chat. So as Copilot comes down into a shared meeting room, it's going to live in the Teams Rooms chat panel, and we're already integrated there to start providing advanced information back to Copilot. It'll punch out and grab your OneDrive. It'll no longer be a personal experience. You'll be able to share this among your team. It'll be smart enough to know who's on your team. Should they be talking? Are they in the room? It'll help you invite people to that meeting. So there's a really exciting roadmap coming on shared Copilot, shared AI, and this device is already built to help facilitate that for you today. Another exciting thing you will get to see at the show, we have worked with Appspace, which is one of the largest workplace management companies. They are a Microsoft Teams partner. Everything here is integrated from the hardware through the software to help deploy that workplace strategy. So more than just meeting rooms, we're seeing more requests for digital signage, more requests for how to do interactive kiosk and wayfinding. So working with Appspace to develop a kiosk was only natural, in our next step in helping customers deploy new technology. So let's go through what some of this will do for you. When you enter into an Appspace environment, it's native on the DTEN device. You're able to access that application out of box, log in, and enter your own personal version of Appspace, where you have your own meetings. Your meeting rooms are built in so they can see which MTRs you have available. You can reserve those rooms. You can do wayfinding to that location, but also more things around just general information. There's a lot of amenities and stuff in your building, in your facilities, that people are able to see a global view of right here from a 27-inch all-in-one kiosk. It's interactive. It has a camera. It can take your picture. It can check you in. It print badges. So this is part of a single tech stack that you're able to deploy from when they walk into the facility, and then it will help them reserve their room and find their room, which makes a much more interactive end-to-end experience for not just your employees, but you can also manage your guests in the same fashion. So once you're in this environment, you'll see, just general information. You're able to see the layouts of where different buildings are on your campus, what's on each floor, where the restrooms are there fire extinguishers. So more than just room management, this is full facilities management, which is really exciting about the Microsoft customers is, they had a very small version of this stuff. You used to have to put this on a 10-inch panel or something that just wasn't really acceptable, for workplace and returning to office. So now to have all of this in a super fast, intelligent 27-inch touchscreen has really given customers new opportunities on how to deploy that digital strategy. So think outside of the room, think of the entire experience end to end for your employees and your guests, because this is a very convenient way for them to interact with your facilities and your workplace, which is intuitive, and it's also ingrained in everything else they do. Their 365 calendars, their meeting invites, their room reservations, all of this is integrated together. We're providing the UI, the digital representation will be on a physical device for the first time. So it's been really exciting. We debuted this at ISE, and we will have it fully functional on display next week at 365. So either our booth or Appspace, please visit and take this thing for a spin. It's actually, super fast and one of the best performing kiosks by far that anyone's brought to market up until this point. So when you're thinking outside of the meeting room, wayfinding is a huge feature that you can offer your employees. Being able to reserve a space in advance or right there in the kiosk, and then having that map that will show you exactly where to go. You can add stops. You can see a room before you reserve it to know what kind of room it is, what gear is in there, how many people can fit, what type of room or space it is. All of this is accessible through that kiosk. You're able to reserve that, scan the QR code, and it will help you get to that location so you can start your meeting flawlessly. And it's a very easy to use end-to-end system. And then finally, we will take one look at this. We have a demo.
Hey everyone, we just announced our latest integration with Microsoft, and that is a kiosk for Microsoft Places. We are bringing places from the digital world to the physical space. And with our kiosk, you can easily see what are the available rooms and available desks in your buildings. You can select the buildings you have in your campus. If you have multiple, you can switch between rooms and desks. It updates in real time the availability in the map, and you can select the different floors that you have in your building. Plus, you can interact with the map. It allows you to rotate, zoom in, zoom out, and see what is in each one of the rooms for each one of the desks. So it's a great addition to what you already have in Microsoft Places. If you have the need to show what is available to your users, this is a great solution to do that.
Yep, absolutely. So a lot of these licenses and these features, Microsoft Places, Teams Rooms Pro, they've all kind of come down market in the last few months. So if you are a Teams Pro user, you have access today to Microsoft Places. So it's something that you can work with DTEN, Microsoft Appspace. We're all available to help turn your digital strategy into a physical workplace. We have the devices and the tools that are ready now. You can deploy them today and really start to earn that return to office, earn more interactivity from your employees, keep them productive, engaged. And this is what's going to separate you from the competition moving forward, having access to this technology and really keeping your employees engaged. So once again, we will be on site in Orlando next week. We will have our AI board. We will have our kiosk with Appspace. We will all be there to talk to everyone. We are at booth 719. You can play with the technology in person. It's not just a booth where we talk. You can actually use the devices. We can talk about what kind of issues you are facing, how we can help resolve them. So be sure to stop by 719. We will be on site with the technology. Appspace is also there to exhibit, and our good friends here hosting the webinar also have a booth. So Ella, I assume you guys are just as excited to attend next week as we are, and also all the other attendees.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Scott. Oh my gosh, this thing that you're presenting right now, this kiosk is really cool. So everyone for sure, please drop by at booth 719 to also rub elbow and meet Scott in person. To everyone joining us in the live stream, thank you so much for being here. We're wrapping it up shortly. We invite you to also visit us our booth. We're at 115 at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference at the exhibit hall. If you don't have your conference pass yet, please register now by scanning the QR code on your screen or go to nextgen365event.com. Use the code SAVE150 to save 150 on your registration. Apply for the Microsoft 365 Community Grant Program by scanning the QR code on your screen or visit change3e.com/grants. Again, this program is built to support small businesses and nonprofit with hands-on learning, expert guidance, and financial assistance for M365 Con 26. If you'd like to participate in the live Q&A with Scott, please be sure that you joined using the link in your calendar invite. Bye for now.